This space station is doomed. It has been falling into a black hole throughout its whole existence, just like everything else. Yeah, that ugly bench is doomed too. Hello everyone, my name is August and this is development log number 2 for the Metaflow game project. This one is all about the cosmology, lore and mechanics of this universe. I don't really consider this as spoilers, just as you shouldn't really spoil any game by explaining its rules, and I hope that procedural nature of this project will take care of the spoilers in general. But if you're sensitive to any information about the game and want to experience all of it with a clean slate, consider this as your warning. As you probably already feel, this is not our universe. There is no Earth or Milky Way here, but if multiverse exists, I like to think about both universes as being right next to each other. Neighbors, maybe even connected somehow. But the Metaflow universe is drastically different. Laws of physics are weird. At the center of this cosmos is a giant spinning white hole. It bends space-time with so much anti-gravity, nothing is powerful enough to reach it. Spinning with an insane angular momentum, it emits the simplest chemical element with atomic weight of 1, forming a disk of matter around itself. Atoms bumping into each other fuse, but conservation of energy is broken in this universe. So fusion makes more matter than there was before. 1 + 1 = 3. The cycle of fusion continues over and over, making more and more mass. Nuclear stability is much stronger in this universe. Even very massive atoms don't decay or collapse fast enough, so nature can construct useful substances out of them. Those substances fly for eons, forming nebulae, fusing more, clumping, shaping planets, life, drifting far away from the white hole, forming a single disc-shaped galaxy. Finally, even this physics gives, and matter collapses into a black hole. This is why there is a ring of black holes around this universe. The Black Edge, the world's end. And it's getting more massive every second. From light to heavy, from young to old, from birth to death. I hope not to sound like a motivational speaker, but why die if you don't have to? This simple yet powerful thought reached most sentient beings who understand this cosmology. So they're trying to get closer to the white hole and away from the black circle of death. No, it's not inspired by Battle Royale games. Beings of this universe try to resist the flow, to somehow migrate against it. Sometimes it's lone roamers trying to get by and hitchhike their way to the heart of the light. Sometimes whole civilizations come together to try save their planet, or even whole system by constructing a scatterthruster thruster around their star. Very few succeed. And this is not just lore. Stars really actually move in the game, almost all of them, and with different speeds. Some civilizations manage to slow down their drift, some even stop it. There are star systems that actually move against the flow, but even finding them, let alone making their inhabitants accept you, would be a challenge. Looking at this universe, you quickly come up with understanding. Everything that is massive or made of old chemistry is not only less valuable in most cases, but possesses hidden danger for everyone around because of its mass and contribution to overall gravity. The heavier your stuff is, the harder it is to resist the flow for everyone around you. It's a small contribution, but it's real enough for some to worry. This is why the matter flow trade system is not like in other games. There is a concept of negative price. Sometimes a trader will demand payment if you try to sell him stuff. That's because the item is too heavy, useless, or even dangerous. It's old matter, as they say, so the buyer would have to dispose of it or somehow bear with the consequences that come with this possession. You can't try to get rid of a heavy thing just by throwing it out of the window of your spaceship, but this will create a gravitational wave with a signature that indicates the mass split, which is a criminal offense in most jurisdictions. This means you can get GTA-like stars for littering if local authorities consider the mass serious enough. Then you would have to run and hide, or face the music. Punishment can be from fines to death to exile with added mass. The last one is when authorities load you with even more useless heavy junk and kick you out of their star system towards the black edge. And you drift in space until you're lucky enough to stumble upon a less wealthy civilization to try again. On the other hand, items that are considered average in systems closer to the light are crazy expensive in systems a bit further from it. If you fly towards the black edge, stuff you think is junk can be considered treasure, so you will most likely attract attention of criminal elements who will try to rob you from your garbage. Their effort correlates with value. Sometimes mob bosses will throw everything they have at you, go even further, and at some point criminals will combine forces with local powers to get all of your treasure trash and kill you, or exile you even further. So your possessions management is a fine line to walk. Fly too far ahead, you become a criminal. Too far behind, and you're hunted by ones. But it's not that cut and dry. Price discovery is complex and takes lots of factors into account. There is obviously a supply and demand model. On top of that, all things have properties and traits that can offset their price. Traders have their preferences too. So players will have the opportunity to research and find ways to sell inferior items at superior prices. Sometimes plain luck will suffice. The progression for this game is non-linear. Possibilities in this persistent procedural generation are intentionally wide. You have a chance, albeit very small, to stumble upon such a powerful item it will propel you half a galaxy towards your goal. Even starting conditions will vary drastically. Some will start as an owner of a space station. Others will have just a dried meal in their pocket. It seems unfair, but I hope that exponential progression will make every king feel like a beggar once in a while, and every beggar will find his gem. I will not fight imbalance or suppress lucky wins. I don't think the former is possible, and I'm sure the latter is boring. Ever heard of abrupt switching of topics? Here's one. Lots of people ask if there will be planet landing. Some, out of presumption it's a mandatory feature, ask how many biomes per planet do you have? Planetary landing was brilliantly achieved in other space games. I try to do stuff that was either done differently or was never done before in the first place, mostly because competition is only healthy when you're in the same weight class. No Man's Sky, Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous are multi-million-dollar projects with teams packed with game dev veterans who were perfecting planet landing for years. It would be insanity to try to compete with them right now. So, no. Don't expect planet landing in the first version of the game. Sure, I would love to do it in the future, given that neither Elite nor Star Citizen launched with the planet landings implemented right away. Who knows? Planets you see right now are procedurally generated. They do have some biome texture generation, and I have plans to use them gameplay-wise, so player would be able to explore and collect stuff from them, but not in the way it's done in No Man's Sky or Star Citizen. Battle mechanics is obviously something I think about, but right now the focus is on economy, trade, and 3 other systems I will tell you about in my future devlogs. Speaking of those, no planet landing, vague mumbling about battle mechanics, Ain't that a time to beg for a subscription? If your subscribe button is still red, well, your almighty click can play the pivotal role in giving me a chance of implementing those features into the game. So, they are at your mercy. Also, the sub button turns gray. It's pretty cool. If you have ideas about what this game solely needs, besides planet landing, and besides visceral multiplayer FPS galaxy-wide battle royale, if you have ideas or suggestions, I would love to read them in the comments. Now I have to tease the next video without actually committing to a topic this time, so come again, there will be things. Thank you very much for watching, and keep in mind, your flow is what matters.